Hey y'all, it's Burgess Taylor. Welcome to today's video, which is about watercolor. I'm going to be watercoloring some roses. This is my quick, easy way. This is where I do the watercolor first and then I do the drawing. I'm going to do a bit of some clip of when I do the roses, when I draw first and I do the watercolor, and the newsletter for this month, which I'm hoping to get out this weekend. Sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already. I should hopefully have the video up and the blog post hopefully will be up tonight or over the weekend. I'm working on all of it, but today is my day to have Victor, so when I pick him up from school, I tend to not do very much filming and editing and stuff like that. So watercoloring roses. I chose to use mixed media paper and Tomoe River paper for this one. I wanted to show the difference. The next time I do it, I'm going to follow along with a YouTube video, and I will leave the link when I do that next week. And I'm going to use watercolor paper and Tomoe River paper. So I'm going to mix it up because those papers are the ones that I use the most. Usually hot pressed watercolor paper, some cold pressed watercolor paper, Tomoe River paper, and mixed media paper. Those are my favorites. So Tomoe River paper is quite a bit different than mixed media and watercolor. They're all a bit different, so I wanted to kind of show you the differences. All last year, I was being brave and getting out of my comfort zone, trying to, and I did quite a lot. But I realized that sometimes when I get really overwhelmed or when I'm really busy with certain things, when I'm super productive, I fall back on my comfort zone stuff. And sometimes in order to know what we need to do to get out of our comfort zone, we need to know what our actual comfort zone is. And some of the ways for you to figure out what your comfort zone is, even when you think you know what your comfort zone is, sometimes it changes. Things change. I've realized that maybe it's the amount of pages, thanks to some other people. Quite a few people I've talked to you or have commented, and it might be the length of the journal. I'm working in some pretty thick journals, and I think what is happening is that I'm getting bored. I'm ready to start with the new. I like changing up the theme for each month, and I've not really been an insert person, to tell you the truth, but maybe it's time for me to consider inserts, making my own anyway. I might be able to do that. That way things will be a little bit better for me, I think, in the long run if I do that. I have traveler's notebooks. Now, the one thing I'm going to keep big, the other thing I think I'm going to take, like somebody mentioned, some of the blank pages from the back of some of my books, and maybe I'll start doing inserts. Maybe I'll start prepping for March. And I do like my thick journals, though. I really do like, but I think the reason that Bree's journals have worked out so well is that the journals I had Bree made, one of them was a 50-page journal, but the rest of them were 100-page journals. And a lot of the journals I've been working in, other than those, have been 200 to 400 and something page journals. That's a lot of pages. And I do go through a lot of pages in a month because I do a lot of different things, but I'm thinking about breaking up the journals. We'll see. But getting out of my comfort zone, I started thinking about what my comfort zone really is. What are some of the things that I am the most comfortable with? I started really delving into those things. So in order to know what your comfort zone is, you need to know what you like, what makes you comfortable creatively, what makes you happy creatively. Like for some people, they really like neutral tones. I like bold tones. I love jewel colors. I love the jewel tone colors. They're my favorites. And I'm more of a jewel tone color person. I love black and grays, though. I love all shades of gray and silver. I'm much more of a silver kind of person than a gold kind of person. I like gold accents every now and again, but I love silver accents or pewter accents. I'm not real big into vintage. I like contemporary better, but I do like some kind of vintage things. Like I like vintage paper, but I tend to go towards the white gray scale rather than the cream brown scale. I'm not really big into cream colored paper much at all. Do I like markers, pencils? What kind of mixed media stuff do I like? And I like trying new things. But there are some standbys. When I want to try something new, I draw with pencil. When I'm drawing things that I'm pretty comfortable with, when I'm trying not to let the perfectionism get to me, I tend to draw with a pen. Sorry, the cord is in the way right now. I like thick and thin pen nibs. I like to write with I like to draw with an extra fine or a fine nib, and I like to write with a fine to a medium nib. I do, however, like bold and italic nibs when it comes to fountain pens. For pens, I like to draw with a ballpoint pen, but I do not like to write with a ballpoint pen. I like felt tip pens. I like all different kinds of pens. I like thin lines and thick lines, like I said. I like to print and write in cursive, and a lot of times what you see is a combination of the two. I like pictures. I like to take my own pictures and add them onto my journal pages. I like to add pictures from magazines. I like to add everyday ephemera. I'm just now really getting into collage stuff from other people. I'm just now really getting into collaging and composition and stuff like that. I'm not all that great at it, but I'm trying to get better at it. And some of the things that I've realized is that I sometimes like text only. And then sometimes I like a background with the text. Sometimes I like text and like a picture, either a picture I took or a picture from a magazine or something, and journaling about it, or using it as a prompt, or journaling about my day and adding a picture from my day. I like all kinds of things. I don't have a certain aesthetic, like on the whole, that I like more than one, more than another. Sometimes I like matching, sometimes I like non-matching. Sometimes I add all different kinds of things. It really is a mood thing for me. Sometimes it's more messy art, and sometimes it's more neat. My pages and my journals, it just really depends. It's definitely more loose and illustrative rather than realistic usually, but I do on occasion like to do a little bit of realistic kind of drawing and watercoloring. I think for me it's because I really love the main thing that I love the most is the combination of the art and words. I think that's why I like documenting my day so much, because it allows me to focus and to be more mindful of my days. It's a really great creative practice. It's interesting and fun. It makes me happy. One of the things though that I've noticed is that I sometimes need to do quite a bit of things, and so in order to be productive and get the things done that I need to do, so I get busy and have less patience and less mindfulness instead of slowing down and being more mindful and having patience, and then my art is not as good. So one of the things I'm going to be concentrating on is the quality of my work and the quality of my videos rather than the amount of my videos. You're going to be getting hopefully 3 videos a week every week on YouTube, this channel, 1 on the other channel. But what I really want to do is, even if they're shorter videos, is concentrate on bits. You know, the bits are what make up the whole, and it's those moments that I want to chronicle in my journal that are they could be ordinary moments that I've made extraordinary. They could be those super mundane tasks that we do sometimes, and we can turn it into something magical. I drew the jar of yogurt, and I also added in the label from the yogurt. I mean, I didn't draw the coffee cup, I drew the yogurt jar. So I'm changing things up and getting out of my comfort zone instead of drawing the same old coffee cups. And I'm doing watercolor again, which makes me feel really happy and really good. And this is what the creative sessions is really all about, is being creative. It's not just being creative in my journal. Now the rose is in the journal that I made for myself. I'm going to get this all together, and then I have to go ahead to get Victor, and I've got to go to the post office, y'all. So I've got a busy day. So I wanted to get this up and to share a little bit about where I'm at right now. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it, but I will chronicle it for y'all because I'm going to be chronicling it for Patreon, so they'll get the more unedited version, and y'all will get the more edited version, more time lapsed. But I hope that you enjoy it and that you have a good one, and I will see you again real soon. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.